Invocation will be given by Jordan Hughes. The Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Kamaya. And the director is Joyce Williams. Would you please stand?
Everybody bow your heads while I pray. Dear God, I want to thank you for this day. Thank you for everything you've done and doing for us, God. We should give everyone traveling grace to and from their locations, and we just have a successful meeting tonight. And just give you all the love and praise you need and deserve. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Joyce, you want to introduce us to the club members? Why don't y'all come up here to the microphone?
Hello, my name is Daquan Attaway.
Okay.
My name is Kamaya Gall.
Okay.
My name is Morgan Coyle.
Okay.
My name is Elijah Williams.
My name is Erin Merrill.
Okay.
My name is Alexis Firos.
Okay. And we met Mr. Jordan Hughes tonight. All right. You got to tell us.
And I'm Rashonda Lynn Snoddy.
There you go. Okay, well, thanks for y'all coming tonight. Citizen comment. I do not have any citizen comment cards tonight. Does anyone would like to speak to any matter or issue? Would you please come forward? Okay, there not being anyone, we'll move to presentation items. Presentation of a proclamation commemorating Down Syndrome 12th Buddy Walk Day to members of the East Texas Down Syndrome Group. Let's see who's going to be here tonight. Macy Bunger and Laura Howard, you here with us tonight? Why don't y'all come forward? How you doing? Y'all come on up. Okay. Hey, boo. Oops. Bite me now.
She does like looking Josie's side.
Okay. We got to turn so everybody can see us. There we go. What's the dog's name?
What's the dog's name? Joycey.
All right, Joycey. How you doing tonight? Good, huh? All right. You look like my dog, Butternut. Okay. We're here to commemorate Down Syndrome, the 12th Buddy Walk Day, which is October 12th, 2013. Down syndrome is a genetic condition and the most frequently occurring chromosomal abnormality. People with Down syndrome are members of this community and have a variety of positive ways they can contribute. The National Down Syndrome Society has created Buddy Walks to encourage the inclusion of people with Down syndrome into our communities. The Longview Buddy Walk will be on Saturday, October 12th, 2013 at Teague Park. So therefore, I, Jay Dean, by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Longview, do hereby proclaim October 12th, 2013 Down Syndrome Buddy Walk Day in Longview. Thank you all very much. She listens good. Huh?
Yeah, I see that.
She does like to lick. Can you get your hand on that, Joycey? Sit.
Joyce, thank you. Thank you for coming tonight,
Can
okay?
you say thank you? Thank you. Thank you
Oh.
so much. Thank you.
I don't know, but I'd hug the dog before I'd hug me too anyhow. Any day. Any day. Thank y'all. Okay, we have one more presentation item, the Domestic Violence Awareness Proclamation. Carol Ibarra, who's the Community Education Coordinator with Women's Center of East Texas. Now, you didn't leave your dog over there, did you? Yes, I did. Uh-oh. She might bite, probably. Smart aleck mare, she probably would, huh? How you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. So we're here to commemorate the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2013. The crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, including abuse of children and the elderly. The impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole, here in this community and throughout the United States and the world. The Women's Center of East Texas is focused on ending violence by providing safe haven, crisis intervention, and comprehensive support services to victims of domestic violence. Survivors of domestic violence themselves have been at the forefront of efforts to bring peace and equality into the home. So therefore, I, Jay Dean, by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Longview, do hereby proclaim October 2013 as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the city of Longview. Thank you, and thank you very much for the work y'all do. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, some more presentations. But we're going to get Fire Chief J.P. Stillman to come up, and we're going to have a presentation for the 20-year service recognition to Captain Steve Orm. We'll be able to get him to come up here too, huh?
Yes, sir. I'll let that police chief thing slide.
There you go.
I heard you.
Hey, man, I was giving you, Did you bring your better half with you tonight?
Yeah.
Would you like her to come up here? Want to add some class to this
That's
picture
right.
up here.
That's right.
Call her up here in a minute anyway.
We'll get her up here. There you go.
Mayor, Council, Mr. Willard, thank you for the opportunity for us to recognize two of our tenured employees with the fire department that have reached their 20-year milestone. Anybody that's familiar with the city knows that that's a shining moment when you hit your 20-year mark, so we're certainly proud of both of these fine men. The first one is Captain Steve Orm here on my right. He was hired by the city of Longview on September the 24th, 1993 as a firefighter EMT. And he said to be sure and say that before that he had tried about 4 times over 4 years to get hired, and we finally were smart enough to hire him. Prior to that, he'd been working in the same capacity since 1989 for the Kilgore Fire Department. He was assigned to Station 3 on B shift. During this time, Steve was one of only about 20 paramedics in the whole fire department, so it's fair to say he did his fair share of early time riding on the ambulance, protecting our city and taking care of our patients out there. In April of 1997, he promoted to fire driver and was assigned to Station 6 on B shift. Steve later transferred to Station 5 on B shift as a driver and was able to work in the same district that he resided in, as well as the Pine Tree ISD where his 3 children attended school. He promoted to the rank of captain in December of 2003 and was able to remain at Station 5 on B shift, which is a role he continues there today. In his 20 years of service to the department, Captain Orm has attained the following credentials. He has his advanced firefighter certification from the Texas Commission on Fire Protection and his paramedic certification from the Texas Department of State Health Services. Captain Orm was instrumental through the years in working with Pine Tree ISD's Shattered Dreams program, which is a program designed to deter teenage drinking and driving. As a truck company officer, Captain Orm has been a key figure in the development of our ladder truck use for fireground operations. He's also been very active in the Longview Professional Firefighters Association, Local 4331, where he served as a shift vice president for 4 years and currently serves as the president of that organization. One of Captain Orm's biggest accomplishments was chairing a committee that led to the development of the fire department's career path, whereby establishing an identified job pathway as members of the fire department progressed through the rank structure to many different responsibilities. Captain Orm feels that his most important success has always been that of his family, and we're proud to have his wife, Shemaine, here with us tonight, and their 3 children are Megan, Dylan, and Braden. So, Captain Orm, on behalf of the Longview Fire Department and the City of Longview, we present you with this 20-year plaque and your 20-year service pin. Congratulations. Look forward to many more years.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Well, I would like to just make a couple of small, quick comments. That was nice write-up, Chief. Appreciate that. Thanks to my wife. Probably this is hers as much as it is mine. She supported me all the way through and did it with me. And I'm not quite done yet, but I'm getting real close. I would like just to say it has been an honor to be a firefighter and a paramedic, but especially in the home that you live in. And a lot of our firefighters don't live in the city of Longview. They live on the outskirts, and we have a few that live even the Dallas-Fort Worth area that travel in every third day. A lot of people didn't know that. But for me, it's always been, I think, extra special to be able to go on a call and know somebody that's having a crisis and had a bad day where they had to call 911. And that was just always put a little extra on it for me to be able to just put my arm around somebody that I knew and let the guys do the work, and I could maybe just do a little bit of emotional support while something awful was going on. You know, over 20 years, I've made, if everyone, I'm sure, has experienced a bad day, or you know of a bad story where you saw a horrible wreck or a bad fire, or maybe it happened to you and it was a bad day. You know, as firefighters, I've participated in that hundreds, if not thousands of times in our community, along with my other co-workers. And I think that's probably the one thing that's meant the most to me is, you know, firefighters share a bond, and this is the reason why, is because it can get crazy out there. You know, that's just one small sample. When you go through it yourself, or you know of someone else, can you imagine the crews that go to that day in and day out? And it's because of that we live together and we eat together, and we share in that together, so we bleed and cry together too. And for me, that's been something special that I don't think I would have experienced in any other career that I may have chosen early on in my life. So for that, I'm extra grateful. And for my wife and for my family to be with me through my journey working for the city of Longview. Thank you very much.
All right.
Congratulations.
Did you switch hands? Congratulations. Thank you.
Now I'd like to ask Section Chief Johnny Zachary to come forward, please.
Johnny's too young to have been there for 20 years.
What?
Johnny's actually another one that we stole from Kilgore right around the same time, so they probably had some hard feelings toward us back in the day. Johnny Zachary was hired by the City of Longview on September the 29th, 1993 as a firefighter EMT. He was assigned to Station 1 on A shift. In February of 1998, he promoted to driver and was assigned to Station 5 on C shift. He promoted to the rank of captain in May of 2000 and was assigned to Station 7 on A shift. In January of 2007, Johnny was promoted to battalion chief and was assigned as battalion number 2, working on C shift out of Station number 7. In November of 2010, Chief Zachary was appointed as the fire marshal and section chief over the fire prevention section of the department, which is a role that he continues still today. In his 20 years of service to the department, Chief Zachary has attained the following credentials. He has his associate's degree in fire administration from Weatherford College, his master firefighter certification from the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, his basic arson investigator certification from the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, his basic inspector certification from the Texas Commission on Fire Protection, his emergency medical technician intermediate certification from the Texas Department of State Health Services, and his basic peace officer certification from the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement Officer Standards and Education. During his tenure, Chief Zachary has been instrumental in improvement areas for the department, such as leading the charge for the department to obtain its first thermal imaging cameras, and more recently, the plan to renovate and improve the Safety City complex across the street from City Hall here for improved fire safety and education for our community. Chief Zachary, it's my pleasure to present you with your 20-year plaque and your 20-year service pin. Thank you for the job and the dedication that you exhibit, and look forward to more time. Would you like to say something? I know you had to recognize your guest.
Yeah, my wife's actually at work, but she's been very instrumental in supporting me through the 24-hour shifts for the first 17 years of the career, and then for the past 3 years working days, which is a switch. She kind of wanted me to go back to shift work, but anyway, they make me work days to do the fire marshal job. You know, God has blessed us through the career, and I'm thankful for every day He's let me serve the community. Thank y'all for paying us to be servants to the community. It's been a very honorable career to be able to share in. This year, you know, God blessed us again. My dad's here tonight, and he's had some health issues, and he has survived a double lung transplant, which is a blessing from God. So I'm thankful my parents are here. My mom has been a prayer warrior since I was young, practicing the fire career when I shouldn't not have been. But even up to current day, she still prays for our safety, the safety of the first responders in our community. And I know she's helped me get through some binds by her prayers and God answering them. But we still got a lot of work to do. I've lived here all my life. My parents brought me here as quick as we could from Louisiana. I was there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, my dad grew up in Louisiana.
It doesn't take long.
Anyway, so, but we've been here my whole life, and my parents were here a little bit before we had to go back and use the hospital over there. But it is neat. We did a sprinkler business for years, and at first I told Dad that's kind of different. You know, you've had customers, and then you're helping them through a crisis. But it's just neat, like Captain Norm said, to be a part of the community and to be able to serve in a community that you're passionate about. And we still have a lot of work to do, but thank you all for the opportunity y'all give us.
Thank you, John. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it, bud.
Congratulations. And he can dance too, man.
You can?
He would be dancing with the stars. He can dance.
Really? Well, just an example of two great employees and a great department. Appreciate you guys. Consent agenda. Councilors, any item that you'd like to consider separately? Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Well, Keith, you want to do your deal first? You're not really? Let's back up a second. We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Whose idea was for me to follow those guys?
Yes, presentation, the street bond project.
It's a real short
Keith,
presentation.
Johnny Manziel Bonds.
Timeline here, slide that you guys have seen a lot. This is for the 2011 streets bond election that passed. The vertical line in the middle here shows the existing time. We are nearing October 1, 2013. The diamonds represent on each individual project where we are. So you see some diamonds in front and some diamonds behind, but overall I think we're on schedule pretty well. This is a tabular format of those. The old dirt projects were on phase 3 of 4, and council approved construction of phase 3 last council meeting, so we're going to get started pretty soon on that. Magnolia, we're 35% through with the design and working on some right-of-way. Green Street downtown is 50% construction complete. Center Street, we're in preliminary. Methvin, haven't started preliminary, but it's scheduled way out anyway in 2015. Construction has started on the intersections projects. You might see them at Dundee and Gilmore Road right now. Cotton Street's 5% in design. It's a big project to work on. Fenton, the design is complete. We're acquiring some right-of-way, and Green Street is preliminary design is finished, and we're working on the final design. So that we finished some repaving projects in the sidewalks. The only one we can really say we finished, but everything is looking good so far. Just a couple of photographs you may not have a hard time seeing, but these are the retaining walls on Green Street on the east side from Tyler looking at the underpass, and that's the west side. So something, sure.
At the end of the day, when all this, of course, we talked about the gremlins up underneath there, but how, I mean, did we gain any distance as far as the height of that?
A little over a foot. It's
Really?
it's listed at 10 feet here, and I think the new signs are going to say 11.2 or 11.3.
But we're going to continue to hang the pieces of pipe so people don't continue to go underneath.
I don't know if
there.
we'll have the pipes up there. I really didn't like those, but anyway.
Well, something, but I mean,
We'll have,
even
yeah,
11
we're going to have
foot.
lots of
Yeah.
reflectivity and
Okay.
pre-warning. So yes, the same amount. Signature star in the middle of the intersection is complete. This is Hollybrook and Tryon. This is showing the west from Tryon, and this photo is about a month old. All of the paving is complete. This is the driveway into J.L. Everhart, and as you're aware, they've been able to use this pavement to access the school, and this is looking eastward up the hill towards the loop. So all those projects are on schedule pretty much. I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have on anything else.
Mr. Garrett.
Mr. Bonds, I just want to say thank you for you and your team on y'all diligence on this particular project. I was named the street liaison for this project when I first came on board, but I want to thank you and your team for continuing to move forward on this project.
Our pleasure. Thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Thanks, Keith. Okay, now the consent agenda. Is there an item you want to pull for separate consideration? There was not. Let me, I want to go to item E regarding the creating the Longview Housing and Community Development Advisory Commission. And I'm going to ask Martell to come forward and just kind of, I know some people in the audience that were interested in knowing a little bit more about it, so.
What we'd like to do is get our board going more so to get our housing authority up to par with best practices for other housing authorities throughout the nation that have a separate advisory board. But they'll be advisory in capacity only. And of course, anything that needs consent or further consideration would come before the city council. The board would also allow us to have more transparency and allow our constituents that we serve a greater platform to participate in some of the processes and decision makings.
Good point. I mean, we all know about the continuing decline of the CDBG funding and whatnot.
Yes,
so
sir.
anything we can do to involve our citizens, I think, is a plus.
Yes,
so
sir.
thanks for your work, Martell. Yes, sir. Okay.
I'd like to say, personally would like to say thank you to Bartell for the good job. Did receive a correspondence from a landlord that participates in this program in the city of Longview and said he's seen considerable improvement and things are going along very well. Want to say thank you for the good job.
I don't think I've ever seen a letter from any one of those people since being on the council, so that was a very good thing.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Any other item? Thank you, Martell.
Move to approve consent.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. The second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Our action items: A, consider an ordinance amending the budget 2013 and 14 fiscal year George Ritchie Road Extension Project. Mr. Willard.
Mayor and Council, this is a continuation of the work that has been ongoing regarding the George Ritchie Road extension. This road, as you can see, is a joint venture between TxDOT, LeadCo, the county, and the city of Longview. They are currently finishing the design work and right-of-way purchases on the area from, or the segment from 259 West over to McCann Road. And we have this money earmarked for that project and would like for you to approve appropriating that to continue to finish the right-of-way purchase and the utility relocates.
Okay. Questions? Comments? If not, may I have a motion? I have a motion. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Item B, consider resolution adopting the Longview Economic Development Corporation 2013 and 14 budget, Ms. Susan Gill. And we have the president of LEDCO, Mr. Keith Hunt, in the audience as well.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and Mr. Willard. Just want to quickly roll through a few slides that we have. This is our current staff at LeadCo. We have some familiar faces you've seen and a couple of new ones. Jason Greiner moved in from the Dallas area back in February, and Chris Peterson is our intern. He's at East Texas Baptist University. And then these are our current board members. Dan Droege, our immediate past president, is also here tonight. And as you said, Keith Honey. And this board This year, they passed these performance contracts on the next slide that we've listed for you. These are financial incentives that were approved for 6 companies, 1 new company to Longview and 5 existing companies. Initial investments total about $8.4 million, and the incentives approved are about $1.3 million. Of course, these are performance-based contracts, so they'll receive their grants when they've met their goals of the contract. And these are some highlights from this current fiscal year. As Mr. Willard just mentioned, the George Ritchie Road Extension Partnership that we've all taken part in. Our board also approved participating in a technology incubator that will be located in the downtown area. We partnered with the Kilgore Economic Development Corporation to conduct a Gregg County labor market analysis, and we have that complete and it's up on our website. It's very informative. We've also worked this year on a 5-year strategic plan and our operational excellence, looking at the different ways we can further use our staff members to their best abilities. And we've also, as I'm sure everyone knows, the Estes Parkway property redevelopment that the city and LEEDCO have undertaken this year is well underway. So those are just some highlights from this year. For the new year, as I mentioned, we've just about wrapped up the development of a 5-year plan, and in the past we've had 3 focus areas: existing primary employers, attracting new primary employers, and then workforce improvement. And we're changing it up a little bit, and our 4 strategic objectives include industry, where we'll continue our existing retention and expansion programs and attraction of new business. Talent, this is the workforce improvement arena. We're going to expand it a little bit. Entrepreneurship, the board would like to play a pivotal role in making Longview a preferred location for startups and show entrepreneurs they're welcome. And then place, redevelopment and revitalization. We're going to really focus on that more in the coming years. In the industry category, we're going to continue the programs that we have in place. We're going to expand them to include marketing directly to HR managers at the corporate level. Right now, we target CEOs and real estate managers that manage big asset portfolios. And since we did our labor analysis, we've come up with some really good data that will hopefully entice them to look at Longview so we can get some more activity. We're also going to look at international investment, foreign direct investment in the area. We're going to really push Longview's location on I-20 and the many transportation equipment manufacturing companies we have here to support that industry. And then work with our local executives at a variety of different events and trade shows that they already attend. We attend some of the same ones, so we're going to partner more with them on those. And then in talent, we're going to continue with the WorkKeys assessment system. We're going to rebrand our workforce department. We're going to form a new Alliance for Workforce Excellence and focus on parents with our Career Choices programs. And we're going to seek appropriate partners to work on a plan to recruit and retain young professionals to our community, and then research some opportunities to recruit in some skilled veterans that are exiting the military. In the entrepreneurship arena, we want to, of course, establish and support the Innovation Center that's going to be located downtown, and then seek appropriate organizations to help us facilitate an entrepreneurs forum and form a formal angel investor network. We also, like I said before, want to build that climate of welcome and bring those lone eagles in, see if we can't get them here to build their businesses. And then in the place category, of course, the LEEDCO board is committed to the Estes Parkway project and working hard on the I-20 corridor. But we want to also continue to seek other opportunities in the revitalization arena that fit within LEEDCO's purview. Moving on to the budget, this is an overall pie chart that shows you our major areas and the percentages. The highest percentage is revitalization and debt service at 21 to 19%. the Economic Development Incentives Fund and general and administrative costs are about 14%. Programs at 13%, and then North Business Park and George Ritchie Road budget items. We've got to extend Mickey Melton Parkway into George Ritchie Road eventually. The engineering is complete, but we're budgeting to have that road built along at the same time the contractors are building George Ritchie Road. And then the 4B projects make up about 8% of our budget. Our revenue, our estimates are aligned with the city's projections. We worked with Mr. Willard and Ms. Cohen to get these numbers. Sales tax revenue about 5.1, and then our interest fund income will be about 60,000, we project. Our expenditures, our programs, workforce development, existing business development, and business park maintenance total about 690,000. General and administrative total about 704,000. That includes, basic operations of the office and the business. And then our funds, the capital fund is relatively small. That's if we have any need for furniture, equipment, computers. But our incentives fund is 720,000. Debt service fund about 967,000. 4B projects 400. George Ritchie Road and North Business Park 600,000. That's the Mickey Melton Parkway, the road in our park that's going to extend into George Ritchie Road. And then revitalization, we've budgeted 1.1 for this year, and that will help us complete the reclamation and demo of that property at Estes and I-20. And then this is just a quick overview of the last 3 years in our funds, programs, G&A, and economic incentives. Any questions?
Questions?
Susan, Ms. Gill.
Yes.
That was a great pie chart on the expenditures you just put up on the chart there.
Thank you.
Does LEDCO have to submit this data to the state at some point, the expenditures for?
We do, at the end of the year, we do file a report.
Is it
Our
every
CPA does that for us.
Is that every 24 months?
Well, we file a report annually.
Annually, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks a lot, madam.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay.
I would just like to say thank you. It always overjoys me to hear your dedication and willingness. I want to publicly, once again, acknowledge Mr. Keith Honey. Under your leadership for LEDCO, thank you. I have confidence at this point that we will move forward with the demolition efforts. And I-20, that is an area part of it, and it's an integral part of it, excuse me. And I just want to publicly say thank you, and I do have confidence that we will continue to move Longview in the right direction. So thank you for your leadership.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, I had Mr. Richard first, I think. No, sir? Okay, Mr. Allen.
Just a comment. We've mentioned it several times before, but Ms. Gill, Susan, what I would like to mention again for the people maybe watching out in the audience is the money that LEDCO is spending for the reclamation of the Holiday Inn project is a land bank, so to speak, because when this project is finished, that land will be sold for future development, which will increase tax value in the area. We're just fortunate to have LEDCO in a financial position where they're able to do this and reclaim that property to put it in a good condition where we can market it, where LEDCO can market it. Thank you.
Yeah, I think what Ms. Allen said, that's an investment which we intend to see come back to the taxpayers, back to LEDCO.
Yes. And the board did select the contractor at the board meeting yesterday. So the demolition should begin shortly and take about 5 months.
Good deal.
So you'll see equipment soon.
Well, thank you all for taking leadership on that project, as well as workforce development and a lot of areas that LEDCO's, taking the bull by the horns to try to help make our community better. So,
thank you.
Anything else? If not, we're going to need a motion. I have a motion. Second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Next item is the resolution appointing the members of the Longview Economic Development Board. I believe our committee met this afternoon. I think before you have an Exhibit A, which lists the LEDCO Board Directors as Keith Honey, President, Lester Lucy is Vice President, which would be a reappointment, Steve Metcalf, Joe Bob Joyce, and Jim Kendrick, which would be our voting board. Our ex officio board would be Miss Andrea Mayo as a reappointment, Dr. Julie Fowler as a reappointment, Paul Stevenson as a reappointment, and also Philip Forge and Dan Droege. Council, may I have a motion? So moved. Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item D is to consider resolution adopting a 5-year capital improvement program. Mr. Bonds.
Okay, I'll try to go through this quickly. It's probably retread for most of you guys, but give a description of what a capital improvement project is. It's a project that is the acquisition of land or the construction or addition or an extension of any of the municipal facilities, major repairs, or equipment purchases of $100,000 or more with an expected life equal to or exceeding the life of the bond. In studies and projects from other master plans, we do rank all projects with these two factors, the public priority and the urgency factor. So to get on the list, we just don't make them up. This is from other or pre-existing CIP lists that we may have inherited from years past and from all of our master plans that are from water, wastewater, parks, drainage, transportation. And we also use the TxDOT's off-system bridge inspections. This is what we approved last year, September 27, 2012. We had 7 projects, all in the utility and or drainage categories. This year, we have 1 transportation project. This council is very familiar with the 4th Street extension. Action we'll ask you to do tonight will be actually to add this to the official capital improvement program list. And the city's maximum contribution with the developer is $1,354,500. And there's a rough schematic of what that road will look like. It's going to start at 4th Street's intersection with Hawkins Parkway and extend to US 259. We have 2 wastewater projects this year, the first being an $800,000 rehabilitation of the Gregton lift station. Some of you may not know that in one time back in history, the city of Gregton had a wastewater treatment plant, and when the city of Longview took it over, we just built a gigantic lift station at that location and pumped the wastewater from that location over the hill and into our wastewater treatment plant. So that lift station is in some need for some rehabilitation. And we have 2 digesters at our existing wastewater treatment plant that we plan on doing some rehabilitation to make us more efficient with our sludge handling. So this is a photograph of one of our digesters, and we'll be doing 2 of those. And this is a aerial photograph showing the Gregton areas and their drainage basin. It's made up of 2 big trunk lines, and the lift station is actually next to the Sabine Water Treatment Plant. And this is at the end of River Oaks Drive. This is Harrison Road, so it's in a very remote area. I don't think anybody in town knows it's there. So, but nevertheless, very important to us. The water treatment, the water side of the CIP this year will be just typical replacement of undersized and old water lines in different areas of town, and council will probably not be surprised. They're on Nixon, Ridgely, Morgan, Bertie, Fairway, Niblick, and Lane Wells, and this is a map showing that the replacements will be in the south central portions of Longview and a couple over here in the what we refer to as the Gregton area. So this is a kind of a synopsis for 4th Street digester rehab, the lift station rehab at Gregton, and the water projects totaling $5,954,500. Again, all funded by either water and sewer funds or by drainage. And where the 4th Street extension was a general fund project. So I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Questions? Mr. Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Bonds. If you go back to the 12, 13 projects that were up there several slides back, going down, what is our situation on those? Just start going
They
down through.
are the bridge and culvert. We have painted the underside of High Street Bridge and finished the design of a culvert on Plyler Precise. We haven't started construction on that one. The drainage projects is one being constructed on Sylvan Drive. It's, I don't, halfway done.
Would you give me an
maybe?
idea on each one of what percentage?
Yeah, the
total?
drainage project's about halfway done, I guess. The wastewater system improvements still under design. Sludge thickening and the co-digestion are still under design. We're almost finished with the design on those. It was super complicated. It was actually led to more work, being the project I just mentioned a few minutes ago about the sludge digesters needed more work than we originally thought. The system flow monitoring improvements, I've got the plans on my desk right now. That is a fancy word of saying meters on all of the facilities. And water system improvements, almost finished with the design on those. That's a water line replacement project.
Okay, so
typically,
these are ongoing, even though it was in the 12-13 budget, these are ongoing projects that take longer than 12 months just to...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It typically takes us a month or two to try to get an engineer under contract and get the project scoped out where they're comfortable with what they're going to charge us to do the design, and then they do survey and right-of-way acquisition and design, and it's typically a 12-month project, so they're all real close to going to construction. But,
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the job that you do. It's very thorough, and you're always so completely on point, and you can even explain it to people like me. I have a question, though, and I know that everything that we're voting on tonight, these items have been budgeted for already.
Yes.
But from a CIP perspective, where does the 13th Street project fall? Are you familiar with that at all? Like where a portion of the street has already been overlaid and curbed and gutter, and then there's a broken section. I don't know where it falls, but I would like to make the recommendation to please add that and investigate that to our future CIP projects. Again, I know you're not a miracle worker. None of us are, but we really need to take a look at that because that's something that was done many years ago, and I'd really like to see that completed so that there's some uniformity along the street.
We'll certainly take a look at it.
Thank you.
Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Thanks, Mr. Bonds.
Thank you.
Community interest items. Mr. Sims.
Well, I'm glad to see Mr. Manley make it back from his operation tonight. And I still don't know why you couldn't have put a tie on with one hand.
I'm all out of clip-ons.
That's it.
Okay. Mr. Garrett?
Welcome back, Richard. I want to say that the Longview Fire Department is offering a slip and fall education for senior adults. Call the fire department for more information. The recycling programs. If you're a church group or a club, call the sanitation department if you got any questions about that particular program, because I'm sure we can talk to you and help you with that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Two things. First, I want to thank Mr. Griff Hubbard for his most generous contribution for our new memorial brick paver project that will be taking place at the historic train depot. You'll be hearing more information about it to come. I will actually be presenting it regionally at our Texas Eagle Marketing and Performance Organization meeting, Tempo, this weekend in Fort Worth. We are really excited about it. So thank you, Mr. Hubbard. And also, the mayor is probably going to announce it, but just want to encourage people to get involved in your community. There's room for everybody, regardless of who you are, where you live, what you do. If we're really going to take Longview to the next level, it takes all of us, and we all are taxpayers. And I said that to say this. My town hall is Tuesday, October the 1st, where I will be joined by our illustrious mayor, Jay Dean. And, you know, I really want to invite everybody to come out. Just because I represent District 3, we have a responsibility, each of us sitting here, to represent the entire city of Longview, wherever we are. So come out, get involved, get engaged. We've got a lot of hot buttons going on, and I look forward to seeing everyone. And I don't mean any disrespect, but I'd like to see some people along my age lines. No offense, y'all. But no, seriously, please come one, come all, and join us at Broaden on October the 1st at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Frost.
I noticed Ms. Drogy's back there. Keep Longview beautiful director. I watched the streets pretty good, and everybody ought to call in this litter problem. I told Laura about one today on 4th Street. You just look around, you drive down the street, it's there. I'm sure she would appreciate everybody helping clean up, make Longview beautiful.
Mr. Manley.
Yes, two things. One is I want to thank everybody for all the thoughts and prayers and flowers and emails and everything else. It's interesting. It's been one consistent thing. Everybody says they're praying for me, but they seem to be praying more for my wife, Carol, for some strange reason, that Richards has to be cooped up in the house for a month. Secondly, I wanted to send out a thoughts and prayers for Earl Mayor Roberts, who's had a little bit of physical setback, and God bless him. Just wanted everybody to know and let him know that we're all thinking of him.
Thanks. Mr. Allen.
Yes, sir. First off, I want to say thank you to the Boys and Girls Club. The young adults that were here tonight are taking advantage of a wonderful opportunity. This is a great organization. It's a good organization that's doing a very wonderful job. And if you're looking for an organization to support, it's certainly a fine organization that would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, well, I'm not going to talk about District 3 Town Hall meeting.
You can say it again.
Okay, October 1 at 7 p.m., Broughton Park. Come share your thoughts and ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Texans Against Crime is Tuesday, October 8th. We encourage you to get involved in an area block party. Contact Partners in Prevention at 903-237-1019 if you need more information. And improvements are coming to the Spring Hill area as part of the Renew Longview initiative. Volunteer cleanup days will be each Saturday in October from 8 a.m. to noon. On Saturday, October 26th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., a neighborhood block party will be held on Clyde Street to celebrate the accomplishments. To volunteer for the project, contact the City of Longview, Volunteer Center 903-237-1390. And again, just echo Richard's thoughts for Mayor Earl Roberts, that our prayers and wishes for his continued health go out to him, and hopefully, the good Lord will be with him. Thank you, and meeting is adjourned.